He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I mean, he is wrong when he says they're weapons of peace. That's not correct. But yeah, in this day and age, if you don't have a nuclear arsenal, you're cooked. Because other nations with nuclear arsenals will come. Let's look at the direct plans on the Iran nuclear deal. Donald Trump, once again, at first, undermining Barack Obama and then rebuilding Barack Obama once again. Let's see.
Donald Trump is in the mood for a deal.
What is this? Don't worry. What the f did Top She say? You little p***. What'd you say again? Come after me is one thing. Don't worry, even with 104% tariffs, our t-shirts are still cheaper than what this Greek Arab sells. Yeah, okay, listen up, boy, okay? My products at ideology.shop, as a matter of fact, are made in the United States of America, okay? And they're made with union manufacturing. If you don't like it, you can suck one, all right? How dare you? They probably will still be impacted by tariffs to some degree because every part of manufacturing still touches the globalized economy, but I don't know. We'll see.
In the Oval Office, a timid Benjamin Netanyahu sat next to the president as he announced that the US will hold high-level talks with Iran.
We have a very big meeting and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious.
In his second term, President Trump has repeatedly signaled his desire to secure a deal with his Iranian rivals. For weeks now, the US and Iran have been exchanging a series of messages and letters to resume talks. And if they don't, the message or menace from Donald Trump is Iran will be in great danger. The talks will mark a return to diplomacy after the same...
I'm confused. Do you not like Jon Stewart? No, I do. It's just that I see no reason to have Jon Stewart say the exact same things I've been saying in perpetuity for 15 minutes with a laugh track over it.
Donald Trump pulled the US out of the 2015 nuclear deal signed by Barack Obama, instead opting for a maximum pressure campaign that reinstated US sanctions negotiations. But that hasn't seemed to work. In response to the US sanctions, Iran has since breached restrictions that were designed to limit its production of uranium. The nuclear watchdog warned that Iran has stockpiled 275 kilos of uranium, and if enriched to 90%, that could be enough for 6 nuclear bombs. The US and Iran will hold the indirect talks in Oman this Saturday. The busiest man in the Trump administration, Steve Witkoff, will lead the US delegation. Iran will be represented by their foreign minister, who says the ball is in America's court.
If the other side shows real intent, we believe a deal can be struck. So as the saying goes, the ball is in the US court. If they show up in Oman with genuine willingness, we'll certainly reach a result.
But the world has changed. Iran can no longer rely on the threat of deterrence from its regional allies, Hamas and Hezbollah. And after 18 months of turmoil in the Middle East, Iran's supreme leader and Donald Trump both know that this is an opportunity to de-escalate, as they say, or not. Well, we're joined now by Dr. Ali Vaez, the Iran Project Director at the security think tank Crisis Group. Thanks for coming back on the programme, Ali. What do you think Donald Trump really wants out of all this?
It's good to see you, Matt. I think President Trump has the right instincts on Iran. He understands that there is really no military solution to the...
I don't know anything about this guy, but there are any analysts that speak on Iran that will talk about Iran on normal terms. So I don't know. Maybe he will be one of those
nuclear
guys.
challenge with Iran, and a deal is much less costly and much preferable. I think he also, from an ego perspective, he believes that the Iranians are master negotiators, and if he can outwit them at the negotiating table, it will be the ultimate test of his mastery of the art of the deal.
Is it also about containing Israel and the possibility of probabilities at some stage of a military solution to the Iran problem, as they would call it?
Well, correct. If indeed Iran is now a virtual...
Check CNN. Check CNN. They're teasing your piece soon. Check CNN. Get off your telefono, bro. You're on CNN soon. This guy has literally been saying this for a week now, and I highly doubt it. Okay, I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Yeah, they're talking about IRS. Multiple senior IRS officials refuse to sign data sharing agreement with immigration authorities. They are not teasing my piece at all. This guy is like, oh, my cousin works at Nintendo. That's what he's been saying. No sussy. My cousin said it's going live soon. They didn't reach out to me, which is terrifying. And I don't think this person is being for real. Yeah, I think this cousin is either with him or something. I don't know. Poop sock incoming. Permaban if lying. Yes. Ban him if wrong. Yes, I will do that. Hasan's dump truck viewer is untrustworthy. No way. Okay, to be fair, a lot of you have crazy names. Oh, you missed it? I missed what? CNN non Nintendo Cabezita, tiny head in Spanish. Okay. It's not going to happen.
Nuclear weapon state, meaning that it is really one screwdriver turn away from being able to weaponize its nuclear program. Part of the reason it is at this point is because President Trump withdrew from the 2015 nuclear agreement.
What if he's right and it's the most deranged hit piece of all time? I hope not.
In his first term, and that removed the restrictions on Iran's nuclear program. From the Israeli perspective, it appears that the real problem is not uranium enrichment in Iran, but Iranian enrichment. Any deal that benefits the Iranian regime is not attractive for Israel. But again, the alternative to no deal is an advanced nuclear program that Israel or the United States cannot tolerate. And I think President Trump is right in pursuing a diplomatic solution.
So the Iranians have been quite coy about these talks. Presumably what they're hoping to get out of them is that the sanctions will be lifted and their economy can get up and running again.
Well, that's right. But the Iranians are also very mistrustful of the United States because President Trump withdrew from the previous nuclear deal in 2018 and reimposed sanctions. And they've also seen some other deals that he has made with other countries where he has also moved the goalposts and either has abandoned or reneged on U.S.'s commitments under those deals. So they are reluctant.
Also, here is based Papa John Mershaw upholding the immortal science of Marxist-Leninist Hasanist doctrine, also known as the nuclear doctrine. Let's hear what he had to say about Iran having nukes.
I think there's no question that a nuclear-armed Iran would bring stability to the region because nuclear weapons are weapons of peace. They're weapons of deterrence. They have hardly any offensive capability at all. And if Iran had a nuclear deterrent, there's no way that the United States or Israel, for that matter, would be threatening to attack Iran now. In the same way that if Saddam had in 2003, the United States would not have invaded Iraq. And if Libya had nuclear weapons in 2011, the United States would not have gone to war against Libya. So I think that if you had a Middle East where other states besides Israel, and this of course includes Iran, had a nuclear...
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I mean, he is wrong when he says they're weapons of peace. That's not correct. But yeah, in this day and age, if you don't have a nuclear arsenal, you're cooked. Because other nations with nuclear arsenals will come and just your shit up. I mean, Ukraine, dude. Look at Ukraine. Look at Ukraine. Even liberals understand that, I think.
Deterrent, it would be a more peaceful region. Well, it's possible there'll be some proliferation. I wouldn't bet against the fact that maybe Turkey or Saudi Arabia would acquire. But people have been predicting widespread proliferation for decades now, and it's never happened. But I think there are two reasons that it wouldn't happen. One is that the Iranians would not be able to blackmail anybody in the neighborhood with their... We've created this myth in this country over the past few years in talking about Iran that any country that acquires can blackmail other countries or for offensive purposes. We have a lot of theory and...
Don't forget the age-old HasanAbi doctrine recently updated. Rule 1, get nukes. HasanAbi doctrine, a guide for nation building. Rule 1, get nukes. Rule 2, do not give up the nukes. Rule 3, if you're accused of having nukes, drop everything immediately and find some nukes. The rest of these are just, you know, silly stuff. The updated Rule 4, do not fly in a helicopter. Rule 5, do not swim in deep ocean water or go spelunking. Rule 6, if a defense contractor approaches you to provide assistance, disband immediately. Rule 7, if all else fails, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. Rules 4 through 7 are also other rules that I have and abide by, but this is revisionist. Like these are like hadiths, okay? They added these after. This is not like in the original. This is not OG Quran, okay? They just added these later down the line, you know. Yes, I often have moments of wisdom, and it's understandable that you would look at that and add new texts, but this is not a part of the OG. This is not in the OG surahs, okay? Rule 6, if a defense contractor approaches you to provide assistance, disband immediately. Oh, that is simple. If someone says, I'm here from the United States of America, and I'm here to help you, okay? I'm here to help you. You got some goals that are aligned with our nation, okay? You have some goals that are aligned with America's interests in the region. Just drop it. Just drop it. Be like, nah, things are so much better, actually. Sorry. You're making fun of 4 and 7 as if 1 to 3 are totally serious. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And to be fair, 4 to 7 are serious too, but 1 to 3 are the most serious. In the absence of denuclearization from the United States of America and all the other nuclear superpowers on the planet, every other country has to get nukes ASAP. And what's even funnier is, what is this? I highly doubt my cousin is screwing around. She works at CNN where HasanAbi heads. Much love to all. Check last message. Love to all. Okay, I believe you. Now, one thing I will say is this. A lot of people will say, Hasan, these nations are unstable. These nations are unstable. Except there's only one country on the entire planet that has ever actually dropped not 1, but 2 nuclear weapons on a civilian population. And that country is the United States of America. So out of all of the nations with nuclear programs, there's been nuclear testing, there's been weapons testing for sure, but only one country has ever been insane enough to deploy said weapons on a civilian population. That country also, after doing that, has actively entertained the notion of dropping nukes on numerous occasions, including nuking China and also Korea. So just understand that if there is an unstable nation that cannot be trusted with nukes, it is us. It is the United States of America, okay? We're the only fucking goddamn country that has ever used nukes. So it's really funny when motherfuckers will be like, hey, man, what if Iran gets a nuke? What if they use it? It's like, what do you mean, what if they use it? We used it. We are the one country that used it. We're also so hilariously bad in like, we're bad in a way where we would mythologize like the incompetence of the USSR. We're also, as far as I know, one of the handful of countries that has actually accidentally lost nukes. Not once, not twice, but I believe on 4 different occasions. So there's that part of the process too. We have quite literally also kept nukes that have no protection whatsoever. So much so that activists like Greenpeace activists and shit have infiltrated said facilities. That is how ridiculous this fucking country is. So please, please don't tell me what would happen if a country like Iran, a dangerous, unstable nation, got nukes. What then? What would happen then?
A huge amount of empirical evidence, 67 years now, which show that no country with nuclear weapons can blackmail another country as long as somebody is protecting that country or it has its own nuclear weapons. And this leads to the second reason. The United States is going to extend its nuclear umbrella over Saudi Arabia and over Turkey, the way it extended it over Germany and Japan during the Cold War. And we will make it perfectly clear to the Iranians that they cannot blackmail anybody. So there'll be no great incentive for Turkey or for Saudi Arabia to acquire nuclear weapons.
And as you know, when you're involved in contact sports, it can be very dangerous. And so they live in a dangerous world. And on top of that, nuclear weapons are the ultimate deterrent, right? It doesn't get any better. As
a resident of Japan, I feel this strongly. I get what you're saying, but banning all nukes starting with America is important as a message to get out. I mean, yes, I of course agree with that. I'm not in favor of nuclear proliferation. I'm in favor of denuclearizing the planet, obviously. It's fucking insane. Speaking of nukes, one of the funniest and saddest things that ever happened was when the famous anti-nuke activist guy from Japan who like survived the atom bombs, who's like seen as a figure for peace, came out and spoke out against Israel's genocide in Gaza, saying that Gaza resembles Hiroshima. Israel got mad at him and said he was anti-Semitic.